Alliance, a nonprofit dedicated to youth education about decentralized cryptocurrencies and financial privacy. The premise is advancing peace through education and mass adoption. I invite you to visit our website, to give us a follow on Twitter, and think about how the Alliance could help bring an idea you have in mind to fruition. Let's connect. I've been part of the Zcash community for about 6 years or so, and I feel like this is a very special moment in my Zcash journey. I'm incredibly proud to say that Mass Adoption Alliance has successfully shepherded this first Zcash book from concept to version 1 completion through a truly global Zcash community effort. The goal from inception was creating a community-built go-to instructional guide for methodically educating Zcash newcomers and also helping existing Zcashers advance their understanding. When I started this project, I wasn't sure what the community response would be. You know, it's like anything. You put the idea out there, cross your fingers, and hope that others will agree that this might be a good idea too. Now, from the very beginning, I kind of set the bar high. I had very high expectations, and we had a short timeline to get us here to completion by ZconV. So from concept to ZconV, we had 56 days to make this happen. This sheet became the laundry list of tasks that owners needed to, check in on. It offered a volunteer link next to corresponding tasks. It was the hub really for defining progress, delays, completion, and ownership. Okay, so I want to mention a few things that struck me right from the beginning. The first thing is that this is really a unique community in terms of talent. There's a volume of talent, it's top talent, it's globally recognized talent. And there's also a lot of love. Love for Zcash, friendships that span continents and years, and really a deep respect for one another. And those elements of love, friendship, and respect combined in this project to establish a level of commitment that was really evident from day one. My first Zcash was really blessed right from the start because we had support and guidance from several community champions like Zechub, ZFAV, Zcash Foundation's Decentralist Dan, Discord's admin Vito. They all mentored me and welcomed me in those first weeks and really helped me get the word out across their channels. And you know what? They were there all the way through the evolution of this project, right until the final My First Zcash weekly sync in Discord. I felt pretty loved, and that counted for a lot in my book. Please check out the acknowledgments at the front of the book when we release it in just a few minutes here for some other important shout outs as well. All we had when we started out was this spreadsheet of open tasks, a volunteer form link highlighted on the slide here, and a lot of optimism. So yes, there were some doubters. They were asking, could we really do this? But I really felt like we could do this. We could get this concept piece over the finish line before ZconV if we work together. And we did. Okay, now crossing the finish line is great, but the way we did it, these metrics, which capture how many people were involved, were what really makes this project a true success in my mind. By the numbers, there were approximately 38 major tasks, 23 major participants, 60 total volunteers encompassing, every task. And get this, approximately 700 volunteer hours were committed to this project in total. Isn't that incredible? I feel like it's amazing. I'm so grateful to all of our volunteers. In addition to community volunteers, additional donations of time, talent, and collateral were received from Zcash Foundation, Electric Coin Company, and Zechub. I'm really humbled by the kindness and generosity that just poured into this project from so many people and so many organizations. Okay, so where are all of these volunteers located? The short answer is everywhere. Volunteers self-reported by dropping a pin on this map. This represents 12 countries, 5 continents, and I think is really an impressive representation of Zcashers worldwide. I feel like this project emulates the true spirit of ZconV. My First Zcash, it is Zcash unified. Now, realistically, seeing this project through required a lot of work from some key people who volunteered to be part of the project, including my fellow presenters here today. Surprises along the way included how well this project resonated, especially with Zcashers who had never before actively participated. Also, it was wonderfully surprising how committed volunteers were to hitting all of these ambitious completion dates. And perhaps most surprisingly of all was that volunteer commitment was in the absence of a bounty. I mean, this is huge, right? I never did determine what specific Zechub bounty task payouts would be because things were just moving so quickly. I kept pushing that to the side. And after a while, it was so fascinating. Nobody cared. It was so secondary to volunteers that were pouring into the project. I would mention I didn't know what the bounty was. I'm not sure. This might all be just pure volunteerism. And no one seemed to mind. They were still as gung ho without a bounty as they were if one were right in front of them. So, what I learned is that Zcashers just wanted to see this project be successful. A lot of the volunteers have plans for this workbook in their own communities. So they had their own reasons to make this book happen. For me, that was the most exciting element, right? Mass adoption in its purest grassroots form. One insight I took away from the entire experience was a notable correlation between the amount of volunteer opportunity available and attendance levels at our weekly syncs. So as those volunteer spots started to fill up on those task sheets, the one I showed you there, as those volunteer spots started to have owners associated with them and the volunteer spots dwindled, so too did the number of people attending the meetings. What that meant to me was that Zcashers want to engage. When the opportunity is no longer available, they stop joining the calls. So as you'll see later in this presentation, My First Zcash will continue to provide so many ongoing opportunities to make a difference. So stick around to hear about those. Okay, now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the big reveal. Version 1 of the My First Zcash workbook is now live on GitHub. Go ahead and download your copy now. And as you begin to pour over the content, please know that dedicated content creators like Paku made this book possible. And Paku, the floor is yours.
All right, well, thank you for having me here. Yes, as you said, this book was in many people's plans. Like, I joined Zcash community in 2019, and I've heard of like the desire of making a Zcash book, and because we've always had like a great and excellent cryptography protocol, but we didn't have a book um, um, that could accompany more novice or other people that are not super into cryptography. So it was something that everybody wanted, but maybe it, we didn't have somebody like you at mass adoption that could like direct and orchestrate all of this effort. So it it was super crucial to this book coming out to have that work. Of coordinating and making people be together towards this goal. And so, and my slides are about like why this content matters. Myself as a ecosystem developer, I work with every team in the Zcash ecosystem. I work with CF, ECC, Zengo, Y Wallet, Unstoppable, Edge, and it's a pleasure and a privilege. And I could notice I also teach classes at college of introduction to blockchain, and we cover privacy with Zcash because um, obviously is the I believe that it is the most advanced privacy preserving cryptocurrency that we have at the moment. And yeah, Zcash is awesome, and we all know that privacy matters. Every day it matters even more. Um, and most people think that they're private using crypto, like any crypto, and maybe it's because of like the name cryptocurrency is, it could be kind of like advertising more privacy than the open ledger of Bitcoin or Ethereum or the other transparent ledger coins actually provide. And when I was like trying to onboard all of these students, or any time we needed to onboard a new developer into our ecosystem, it was hard to get down to earth, easy to chew up content for Zcash. It basically went like from 0 to 200 miles in a few seconds. So the learning curve of Zech was always like super steep to my view, or my point of view, I guess. So, and the learning resources were sort of like scarce, and unfortunately, we're I'm saying this in the past tense because we're advancing the contents we have for Zcash knowledge base even further with this book. Um, I like to do a shout out for Zechub people, which are doing a tremendous job in like gathering a lot of Zcash knowledge around the web on their hub, and the contribution they did to this book is also huge. And Zcash needs to be more approachable because privacy is hard. So it's good to have contents for everyone, for every level, for experts and for beginners. And what are the potential readers of My First Zcash? I guess it's mainly like everyone, because no matter who you are, there's a portion of it that will be useful to you. If you're a student or a beginner and you're getting your feet wet in crypto, and you start to wonder about privacy, this book is definitely for you, because it will go from the zero to hero, as they say, and it will introduce the concepts of crypto, like the first principles, because we are using my first Bitcoin um, base of the book, which was, to give credit to the author, very very well structured and with really solid metaphors and examples that we could use as a baseline to work for My First Zcash. If you're an educator, this book is really really good for you to set up some workshops and classes at your institution, or whatever you teach, whether it's a school or just a meetup, it's super useful for you because it gives you a roadmap and a set of exercises that are approachable to each level. And you know, um, when your students are progressing in the content, they'll be able to have like more complete exercises to learn about Zcash and crypto and self-custody crypto as well. For promoters, advocates, ambassadors, enthusiasts that wants to spread the Zcash word all around the world, it's also very useful because it has a lot of materials that you can pick up and choose. Because maybe you won't say, "Hey, read a book." Tell someone to read a whole book. Maybe it's not the more appealing thing for everybody, but it has a lot of materials that you can actually use to create your own content. And the licensing of the book is allowing you to, so it's super important. And if you're an expert, this is, maybe everything about the book and everything what's in it, but the book has this special flavor that it has been thought around beginners. If you're an expert and you know a lot or you wrote the protocol, this book will be useful for you because you could just use it as a resource to make your super advanced knowledge be approachable to people at the elevator, to somebody you meet and asks you, what do you do every day, or what you're working on, and you can use this resource as something to help you, fill that gap between a super expert in cryptography and like the usual people that are just like hearing about crypto and want to know a little bit more. So I hope that you all enjoy the book. Everyone has made a tremendous effort to and put a lot of energy and hopes and dreams to make it a reality. So my best wishes for everyone, and shout out for all the content creators, people that made the proofreading, and there are a lot of more things coming that we will probably talk about. And also to all of the designers and to all of the people that work on the layout and the art. I'm super grateful because like I just had to worry about the content, and like my chapter, which is the wallet chapter, looks awesome. So thank you very much. I guess that at least I give the mic back to you.
Thanks, Paku. Your chapter is fabulous. I'm a big fan of your chapter. It's just gorgeous content, and I'm really excited for it to be out in the world to help advance adoption. And I really have to thank you for all of your time and effort. I feel like it's really going to make a difference for a lot of people. And speaking of fabulous, it is my pleasure to introduce the project's creative director, responsible for managing all of the page layout across the entire book. Minnie, the floor is yours.
Hey everyone, I'm Minnie I'm designer from Zcash Brazil design team since 2022. And when Elise first appeared on Discord asking for help with the idea of writing a book in 56 days, at the moment I didn't know whether I should volunteer or not because of the deadline. I knew it wasn't impossible, but it was tight. So I was observing if anyone was continue with design work with her, but I didn't see anyone. I knew I was capable, so I decided to take on this challenge. So I had to talk to Yogi, my husband, and we talked about our tasks at Zcash Brazil and rearranged our work. But now wasn't 56 days anymore. This book was a very special and challenging project, not only because of the tight time, but also because I work with a team whose skills I don't yet know, which remind me of the trusting relationship I experienced when I first heard about Zcash in 2022. So let's the target, young adults. After defining the target, we needed a layout that playfully illustrated the narrative, combining art and functionality. First approach was trying a comic book, but we saw that adapting the text and creating characters would be unfeasible in the proposed time frame. Second approach, a format more didactic and easy to read. Let's do it. So the cover was a tribute to Fifth Cypherpunks, who made Zcash possible, represented by zero. Through the book, I realized that illustrations made one by one also be unfeasible, and putting images from banks would generate a lot of mention. So we decided to generate EA images to the whole book. Thanks to Geffen, Zero Darts, and Yogi, that besides the chapters, create beautiful images through this tool. We decided to a font that is good to read online and printed. And now the logo, the creation of logo project. The logo design was thinking in blocky format, representing blocks of blockchain, and my first in a font that reminds a monochromatic screen of old computers. And the colors used was the Zcash logo type. We really want to this project was a very special and challenging project because we have so short time, and I saw Elise so excited with this book, and that that impacted everyone that was involved on this project. I want to thank everyone, Elise in particular, who was patient with every step of the process. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Minnie. Your hours and months of hard work and true commitment to this project was really the secret to its success. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You were really the magic that brought everything together into this beautiful book that it's become. Our final presenter today is Ice, a high schooler working with Mass Adoption Alliance to inspire the next generation to learn about Zcash. So Ice, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Hi everyone, I'm Ice, a junior in high school, and I'm very interested in majoring in computer engineering as I begin applying for college. To start, I'm so unbelievably excited and honored to be here to discuss some of my ideas to help expand the audience for My First Zcash. I truly believe that spreading the information to high schools and informing kids about the importance of their financial privacy is crucial. And amazingly enough, My First Zcash provides a way to learn about this and enjoy doing it. That is why I'm in the process of creating a My First Zcash club with the help of Mass Adoption Alliance at my high school, and I hope to inspire others to do so as well. But starting a club isn't very simple. To start, you have to get approved by your school. That means talking to a teacher or filling out some paperwork. No approval, no club. Simple as that. And speaking of teachers, in my section, I advise students to find a fun one to be your advisor. Trust me, it makes all the difference. They can help the members learn about Zcash and make the club meetings more exciting and inviting for new members. Once you've got that all sorted, it's time to spread the word. Post some flyers, talk to your friends, even consider using social media. The more the merrier. And when it comes to our meetings, we can keep it laid back. No need to stress out over complicated stuff. We can take it slow, talk about what we've learned, and maybe even elect some club officers to help out. I plan to read about a chapter every meeting and to do the exercises throughout the book together as a club. By the end of the year, we'll look back on all the cool stuff we've done and even earn a Zcash as a reward for finishing the book. It's like a party with a purpose. So yeah, I plan to make this club awesome. We can learn about privacy, connect with our peers, and have fun. My First Zcash provides an overwhelming amount of possibilities for high schoolers, and I intend to use it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ice. I can't stop smiling. I'm so excited to watch you grow your school's My First Zcash Club and inspire additional schools to do the same. Congratulations, and let's keep growing the club together. Keep me posted. We'll stay in touch here. As My First Zcash begins taking on a life of its own, our global community with so many Zcashers involved and inspired by the resources we're developing, kind of decided, hey, we need some merch. So thanks to Zechub, we have this very cool merch collection available for purchase, designed by Minnie, I might add. Any proceeds above the cost benefit Zechub. And I'm thinking I have to place my order for a bucket hat before those run out. Those are super cute. Hey, so I'm going to pivot to what's next. There's so much ahead, and the amazing thing is that so many of the volunteers are already on board to get moving with what's coming next. This community, right? We're really able to accomplish amazing things together, and it's just so impressive. What happens next? Version 2. Right now we have version 1. That's what you just downloaded. Version 2 is tackling additional improvements. Okay, let's talk about version 2. We'll be actively asking for feedback about version 1 to begin with. That's the publication we just released. There will be improvements. If you find some lorem ipsum, is that how you say it? It would not surprise me because we are moving at lightning speed. I'm not kidding. It's possible that, you know, there are edits that need to happen. We'll tackle those improvements as they're submitted and determine a process for maintaining the electronic version of this book over time. And then we'll get working on sharing it across the English-speaking community. What happens next? Version 3. This one will take shape quickly. We'll be taking that now perfected copy, getting it print ready. Mass Adoption Alliance will be finding the right publisher, leading outreach to professors, universities, high school financial literacy clearinghouses. The end goal is getting this book into communities and classrooms at high schools and universities worldwide. We can do this, I have no doubt. After that, we're going to work on translations. Okay, I have to be honest with you about this. The number of volunteers willing to provide translation has been overwhelming. I mean, look at this. 14 languages represented across our volunteers, spanning the globe. We have 21 translation volunteers already clamoring to get to work on this version 4 translation. In this iteration, we'll decide which languages we should focus on initially. Then we'll select, kind of identify language leads, create a process, a timeline. We're going to make it happen. We are aiming for maximum global reach for this content. Our call to action here is real simple. Join us. We're over in Discord. Join the conversation. Come to those weekly meetings. Fill out the volunteer form so you can be matched with something you're interested in doing. We need your ideas, your talent, your enthusiasm to keep moving all of this forward. I hope to see you over there. You're invited. And hey, don't go away, because after the Q&A today, we're going to keep Zcon going. If you're watching us live, join the ZconV recap in Zcash Global Discord and stay tuned for the after party featuring new music from Johnny Zcash. I'll see you there. Thanks, everyone.